We start at the top office, where President Moon Jae-in, during his New Year's address today, called for more inter-Korean efforts to spur progress in the ongoing peace process. The president also talked about the possibility of North Korean leaders' visit to Seoul this year. For more on this, we go live to our presidential office correspondent Shin Se-min at the top office. Se-min.
Right, and President Moon Jae-in basically spelled out his administration's goal for the year of 2020 during his New Year's address earlier this morning. Now, the sticking point and the most important point that he pointed out during his message was revisiting the idea of inviting North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to the capital of South Korea, Seoul. Now, if you recall back to the year of 2018, during the third inter-Korean summit meeting in Pyeongyang, the leaders of the two Koreas shook hands with President Moon, promising to invite North Korean leader Kim Jong-un to visit Seoul by the end of that year, which we already know didn't happen. But here's President Moon earlier this morning.
평화 통일의 의지를 다지는 공동 행사를 비롯하여 김정은 위원장의 답방을 위한 여건이 하루빨리 갖춰질 수 있도록 남과 북이 함께 노력해 나가길 바랍니다.
Now, President Moon is hoping to realize that promise in 2020, saying this year is all the more meaningful, with the year marking the 20th anniversary of the June 15th Inter-Korean Joint Statement and the 70th anniversary of the outbreak of the Korean War.
Now, Se-min, we also hear that the president also talked about stepping up cooperation with North Korea.
Right. President Moon was frank and down-to-earth in reviewing the Korean peace process now into year 3, just as the Moon administration. Now, he said he's sorry for not being able to see much of the progress being made in the year of 2019 in terms of the inter-Korean relations, and said that despite such stalled talks in the denuclearization process, he's hoping to see more dialogue this year.
나는 거듭 만나고 끊임없이 대화할 용의가 있습니다. 개성공단과 금강산 관광 재개를 위한 노력도 계속해 갈 것입니다. 지난 한 해 지켜지지 못한 합의에 대해 되돌아보고 국민들의 기대에 못 미친 이유를 되짚어 보며 한 걸음이든 반 걸음이든 끊임없이 전진할 것입니다.
Now, he also stressed the importance of bringing back inter-Korean cultural cooperation, hoping to invite North Korean athletes to the upcoming 2020 East Asian Weightlifting Championships and the World Table Tennis Championships, both being held in South Korea this year, and even continue consultations for unified inter-Korean teams to compete at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Now, and he also proposed a more tangible partnership, like efforts to put the demilitarized zone onto UNESCO's World Heritage List together, and said it's something that can be started immediately. This after the president had offered to transform the DMZ into a UN-led international peace zone last year.
So aside from inter-Korean diplomacy, the president also mentioned some local issues, right?
He did. The key word for the administration's state affairs is bringing about a definitive change and having that realized by the Korean people. President Moon said with the backdrop of fairness in our society, there can be innovation and inclusivity that will eventually breathe life into our economy. Also, revisiting his message from earlier this year, the president said no powerful institution can exist above the people and promised to ramp up his efforts to create a fair and just society.